So Valentine's Day has always been significant for me because of the people in my life, the men in my life growing up. My oldest brother, John Thomas, and my father, James. They've made it special, and their unconditional love helped me grow to be the girly woman that I am and love and um, understand chivalry and understand the man's role in um, a relationship and a friendship and a brother sister relationship, and I've seen it modeled for me. These men loved me unconditionally. My father was strong and steady and was my protector. My brother was my protector as well. They were both my providers at different stages of my life. When my parents had church and different events, um, my brother was my provider. He made sure I ate and felt safe in the home and was cared for while they were out ministering. So it was an honor to remember these things, that love was there from the beginning of my life. But on this day in 2011, Valentine's Day brought a different outlook for me, because the day that I loved so much, the day that I remembered and was happy to be around my father, um, was the day he was called home to be with the Lord. And ever since that, it's been a roller coaster up and down, but throughout the years, it's gotten better. And the emotions living with my mother and seeing how she grieves and wanting to be respectful of her and not make her upset, and in sparing my own feelings and making sure I'm a good example and for my son and be a good sister. It's been hard, but at the same time, different generations do different things, and I've there's been times when I've made sure Valentine's Day was just wonderful and great, and there's been times when my mom's like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. It's horrible, and she's cried, and I've been broken by those. And then I remember like a year or two ago, my mom was really good about it, and I was like, okay, this is like the light. And then the next year, it just was different for her. So I've learned to just, I hate to say it, but walk on eggshells. But at the same time, my prayer for the last several months has been, Lord, just let Valentine's Day be a day of not darkness for me. Let it be a day of remembrance, but newness for me, Lord God. So I focused on self love this year. At 45 years old, and not married and have a young man in college, it's like, oh, sky's the limit and all of that. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine that I'm not with somebody at this moment, because God is still working on me and preparing me for who He has me to be with. And right now in this season, self love is so important to me. So spending the day getting my makeup done, making sure that I reach my goal of getting this episode done for my audience, and also as a remembrance of two men in my life that have shown a good example of love for me, is very important. So for 18 years, of course, I put my energy into raising my son and just being a good mother, and I did that. But now it's that selfish time for me to just take care of me, to do the things, and the fire has been relit for me to, continue to talk to people about my journey with, my health, different diagnosis, and things that have happened, because a lot of people feel lonely at this time of year, on this holiday, this, worldly holiday. And I just want to be that type of hope for people, that they can understand that, look, you're loved. You may not have a significant other, or things may have happened in the past, but where are you right now? Love yourself. How are you loving yourself every single day? How is God showing up for you and telling you that He loves you? As I enter into this new season, I just embrace just smiling about how much that I am loved by God, that I love life, that I love, things that are going on. I may not understand everything, but that's a part of life, right? It's exciting. So I'm in a place where my heart is also open. I'm open to, dating at the right time and the right person, but I'm not closed off to not closed off. Sometimes we get trapped in being closed off and not wanting to do things. And I don't look for it, but I pray that God sends me the type of love that I know He wants for me, that godly love, the mature love, the forever kind of love. But let's be real. I've not dated in a long time. The dating world has changed. I mean, apps were a little bit beginning when I stopped dating years ago. Over the years, I've tried dating apps. It is completely different. I mean, we're in the world where social media is like in your face all the time. The response time, people are just so pressed on the instant part of it. Like, oh, they didn't message back. Oh, the bubble popped up. They looked at it, but they didn't respond. Like, really? It could be too much. So I have slowed away and don't do those for me. It's not my thing. But I know that some people try it, and I just take it slow, and just I'm open and I'm available, but at the same time I'm cautious and I'm patient with myself, and I'm patient with any situation. So I know that patience, healing, and mental health, and rejection and grief, that's a lot right there, right? That prepares me. Dealing with those things head on and individually is preparing me for to be the type of person that I want, that have dealt with the rejection from my past, right? From the grief of my loved ones, from just the mental or the verbal abuse that I've have once endured. And I love that, that I'm doing this with faith and the foundation. The Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 30, the Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, love is what? Love is patient. Love is kind. Love doesn't envy. And social media tells us that what? Love, you see people envying people a lot, and that's not what I want. So let me finish the Bible verse. It also says that it does not boast, and it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. Think about that for a minute. It is not easily angered, right? It keeps no record of no wrongs. Now, I think about times I've dated and social media or apps or whatever. A lot of things people keep record a lot lately, or in the world today, right? People dishonor others, people with not being faithful and various other ways. I have to make sure that I'm right in my heart and in my mindset, so that I am healed from all of those things, that I can be the correct partner that God wants me to be. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects us. And that's the type of love that I remember from my father and my brother. And I'm so glad that God does that for us. And just being that type of woman that knows that that's what I desire, and it sets the standard right there, and it sets the tone of who I desire and who I attract. A man that's not going to, lead me astray, and be like, oh yeah, you go to church, but oh, let's do this instead. It just makes me check myself and just be aware of that. And then also in the season of healing, oh my gosh, healing from loneliness. Like, yeah, my son has gone off to school, but my mom's still here. But at the same time, you have seeing couples around and seeing things on social media. Loneliness creeps in sometimes, and I'm human. I'm not, not oblivious to that part, but checking my motives for just different things, and then checking my heart posture and making sure that, I'm not letting loneliness creep in, and I'm not letting other things creep in alongside of that, is very important to me. And knowing that I'm not completely alone, because I have, I have my family, I have the love of them, and I have the love of God. So that's very important to me. Let's get into this conversation today, because love, real love, godly love, what the flip? So, like we said, we talked about love is patient. God's timing is perfect. Be still doesn't mean be stagnant. Talk about, as I've matured, I've come to realize that real love, God ordained love, is patient. It is not rushed. It is not forced, and it is not settling just to avoid being alone. And that is so important that we do that. If you're single like me and you wonder when love will come, you have to understand God's timing is perfect. I spent so many years focusing on my son, my faith, my purpose, and God was preparing me for a relationship, maybe not just a relationship. The Bible also tells us that love is patient, and I believe that with the right person, when the right person comes, it would be worth it. Every moment of us waiting and healing from rejection and broken heart and grief, God already knew that was going to happen, right? It's in His timing, not ours. It's in His timing. Love and loss often go hand in hand. And we have to realize that. Many of us has faced it, rejection, right? Betrayal, heartbreak. Psalms 147:3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds their wounds. Healing takes time, and it won't pretend that it isn't easy, but I've learned that healing isn't just about getting over something. It's about growing through it. It's about following yourself, allowing yourself to feel, to grieve, to process, and to come out stronger. So during those different times when it was up and down, I definitely have grown through the years and I've come out stronger. I mean, there's some moments that I'll have and I'll just be like, I just can't do this. I'm not strong enough. And then God reminds me, no, you are strong. You're good. And to know that and to believe it and to feel it is such a relief. It's such a relief and it's such a peace. It's a peace to know that you're okay. Something tried to shake you, but you're fine. That is it's a God hug. I always think about when I go through something and I'm just I really wish my dad was here. I wish my brother was here. And I get a God hug. I'm just so in love with that moment that God reminds me that I'm going through something or I went through something, but I'm still here. You're not alone. Yeah, you're going to miss people that come in and come out of your life and, but when you're down and when you're out or when you think things are not going to get better, talk to me, worship with me, spend some time with me, get closer to me, and I will be there for you. And the moments when I don't even think about it or whatever, I'll just have a God hug moment, and I just am so thankful to be able to experience that, because not many people have that personal relationship with Him when they can do that. And then a person dealing and having, mental health diagnosis, it's even harder at times. But I know that He wouldn't give me more than I could bear, even at times when it seems unbearable, that I'm here for a reason. And I just, have to recuperate. Sometimes I just need to refill my cup. And this season of self-love, that's what I'm doing. I'm pouring back into me. I'm allowing God to pour into my cup, into me, so I can help people from the things that I've gone through. Because, living with a diagnosis and fighting against, the daily stigmas and the family stigmas and the rejections of, family, and trying to be quote unquote normal, working, it's not easy. But, embracing the self-love and embracing and working hard to maintain that stability is very important. And setting boundaries is so important for yourself when you're going through any journey, but the different stages. You have to sometimes, I'm in a stage now where I'm not as active in certain ministries as I would want to be, because I need to me time. And it's a hard pill to swallow, because I'm always willing to help, and ministry and helping others is my thing, but I need to help me. And I have helped myself doing this, talking to you guys, letting you know that about my love story, my grief, my life helps me. And I thank you guys for listening, because you can't rush your healing season. You just can't. I've tried. I'm human. I mean, I think I've tried. I think I've tried to brush it off. I'm okay. I'm all right. We're good. And it's just like God gives me the God hug. God will check me, like, look, and then he sends his people to check me too, and I thank God for it, because you need it. So I want you to practice the self-care, the self-love. Faith plays a very important part in my life, and throughout different episodes you may hear a lot about my faith. You may hear different scriptures and things of that nature, and some you may not. I mean, I'm human. I have my different inspirational days and moments when I think out my different podcast episodes and times that I like to talk to you guys. But you know what? I thank you for listening to me today. I'm going to make this a part 2 probably, because you guys are worth it. You guys are amazing. I thank you for just spending time with me. It has been a struggle to get through this day. I wanted this episode made and done the day before Valentine's Day. I wanted it done before 12. I wanted it out. But I think getting through this and understanding that it's a process, just like the healing and everything that I've talked about, it's okay. So we will talk again more about, love and self-love, and I will check in on you. I want you to follow me on all the social media platforms. You can find me on blessedandella.com. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Facebook. I have a private group there, but I'm going to have to make it public for a little while. And you can continue to more episodes. Listen, what I want you to do is not let go of your standards, is not let go of yourself, and just make sure that you keep going, because you're worth it. And I am glad that you take some time to say hi, to watch my video, and I thank you so much. See you again. Bye.